Paritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriritam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Hurida Janaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss, showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty, prosperity and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers in the world who preach and pronounce the nectar of your message to the suffering humanity. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are in the Gospel of Ramakrishna. We read the entry of August 9, where Sri Ram of 1885, where Ramakrishna was describing about his own spiritual experiences and ecstasies, how he felt. Now today we are on the Monday, the next day. That means he stayed overnight. M stayed in the Dakshineshwar temple that night, and so he lived and actually observed what Sri Ramakrishna was doing. Last time we read that it was almost 9 o'clock, so how Ramakrishna's days are little going on and how he lived, a little glimpse we can get. We read that rather the page this is 833. Entry is Monday, August 10, 1885. So it was 9 o'clock in the evening. So that time onward the description. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in the small couch then also. And then Mahimacharan's desire to form a Brahmachakra in the presence of the Master. Brahmachakra means a chakra, a circle, where all the people will sit and meditate in front of Ramakrishna. So, and then they sat, Rakhal, Mahima, etc. formed that, Kishori, and two other devotees. He asked them all to meditate. He means here not Ramakrishna, but Mahimacharan. And Rakhal went into the ecstatic state. Master came down from the couch and placed his hand on Rakhal's chest, repeating the name of the Divine Mother, and Rakhal regained consciousness of the outer world. Now, it was what time? 9 o'clock in the morning. Then it was saying it is 1 o'clock in the morning. That means what? Midnight. What Sri Ramakrishna is doing at 1 o'clock. 9 o'clock he is sitting with the devotees and who is going to ecstasy, helping them to go, and who is bringing him down from samadhi to the normal plane. And that is the way day and night going on. And see, we talk about our privacy. His room is open day and night. How come? Your bedroom, that is your, that will be open for anyone, coming day and night. What is that? So he has this is to be observed. A man of God or God himself when he comes down, exceptional. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, that means night. The 14th day of dark fortnight of the moon. There is intense darkness everywhere outside. 1 or 2 devotees were pacing the concrete embankment of the Ganga. 1 or 2 means Master Mosai will be there. He didn't say that I, so he did. 1 or 2 devotees are pacing back and forth on the bank of the Ganga. Sri Ramakrishna was up, 1 o'clock. That time he's up. He came out and said to the devotees who are walking back and forth, Nangta told me that at this time, about midnight, one hears anahata sound. So he's encouraging them and referring to Nangta means the Tutapuri, saying that he used to say, he's so humble as if he does not know it. He is quoting. That's the greatness of, you will find in the Upanishads also. When they refer, they will say, Iti Susruma, Iti Susruma. I have heard it from our earlier realized people. But he himself a realized person. But he has no ego. So that's why he says that Nangta, the Nangta used to say, told me that at this time, about midnight, one hears the anahata sound. That means anahata sound blows much. It can be perceived because everything is calm. Look at the world. At midnight, what people will do? Most of the people are resting. The cluttered thoughts which we are carrying now, and this thought, that thought, is impacting this environment, no? Good thought, bad thought, all this. And when people are sleeping, and they're just in the deep sleep, or most of them dreaming maybe, but that impact is not like that physical presence. When you are physical present, your physical vibrations are strong. So at that time, the world is all sleeping as it were, and then you can see that voice which is going on, that unstruck sound which is going on, that means it has no stoppage any time. Continuously that sound is, and you can hear that. That means those who are mind is pure, at that time silence, two things, silence and mind also becomes calmer. At that time period, if you are awake and your holy Ganga is flowing, and if you can really sit down there with awareness, then you can hear something. So it is said that means the sound can be heard like that. Now and then Sri Ramakrishna, in the earlier, then he came out and said to the devotees. And now that night time, next description are not there. In the early hours of the morning, Mahimacharan and M lay down on the floor of the master's room. Now whole night they've spent for meditation and prayer. Now in the early hours of the morning, that means maybe 4:34, 4:35 o'clock, they are lying down to rest a little. Rakhal slept on the camp cot. Now and then Ramakrishna paced up and down the room with his clothes off like a 5-year-old child. He is beyond all external, and nobody is there in his own room. Now, today we are reading Monday, August 10. The same little description of that, how it was dawn. Now it was the early morning before sunrise, now it is dawn. The master was chanting the name of the Divine Mother. So in his room he is clapping his hand. Normally he used to do. All the deities will go, chant the name, and if he goes to Sri Chaitanya, he will be chanting his name, Rama Rama, Rama. So wherever all mothers, Divine Mother, so all this chanting, Ramakrishna started chanting. He went to the porch west of the room and looked at the Ganga. Going outside, he watched the Ganga flowing again. Then he stopped in front of the pictures of different gods and goddesses which is hanging in his room. In the room, and bowed down to them. The devotees left their bed, saluted Sri Ramakrishna and went out. So in his room, day is filled with people, night is also filled with people. And he only lies down. Can anyone live like that? We talk about our privacy, no? The master was talking to a devotee in the Panchavati. The latter had dreamt Chaitanya Dev, Sri Chaitanya Dev. And that man is master here. I think the Srima himself is talking about that. The master was talking to the devotee in the Panchavati, and the latter had dreamt what? About Chaitanya Dev, Sri Chaitanya. Master, in an ecstatic mood, me, the devotee. But sir, it was only a dream. I have seen in dream Sri Chaitanya, okay? We sometimes think it is an ordinary thing, but Sri Ramakrishna said, no? It's overwhelmed. And when it is reminded, there is only dream. In the dream you see some holy picture, holy person. What is that? No, Ramakrishna says, is a dream a small thing? The master's voice was choked. His eyes were filled with tears. So this is very important point to learn. If you see a divine dream, don't think it is an ordinary. Ramakrishna in another place said that is when you see a dream, it is real. Real in the sense, your mind was pure and God is gracious that they appear in your as reality. It's not an imagination there. Now I am thinking of God here. But when you see in the dream, it's a dream reality. Reality. So reality is, it is true. That's why it is said that don't think if you have a dream, good dream, a divine dream, think God is gracious and your mind is turning towards purity. As the mind goes towards pure mind, naturally pure thoughts will come. Expression of the pure thoughts will come. So Sri Ramakrishna, that's why he so got emotional. No? His voice is choked, his ears are becoming full of tears, and he said, No? Sri Ramakrishna was told of a devotee who had divine visions even while he was awake. Some devotee told Ramakrishna, even while he was awake like this, he had a divine vision. Just seeing. We sometimes say it is hallucination. No? That's true. Sometimes we may make a mistake, hallucination as real vision. The master said, I am not surprised. Now Narendra too sees forms of God nowadays. That's the point. Point that many of the people cannot meditate on the form. When you meditate, the form does not come. Particularly the temperamentally, they cannot, how much you try, as if you are not able to bring the divine form in your heart. Though Guru has told, think on Christ, think on Rama, think on Ramakrishna, no? But the image of Ramakrishna here, it does not catch. So many people think that form is useless. That we think of the formless infinite. But formless infinite, we cannot think. That is also a form. Because we formless infinite, what is our concept of infinite? You just make a horizon, 5 miles, 10 miles horizon, make a map. I say Pacific Ocean, you will just make a map of Pacific Ocean. That's all. But what is Pacific Ocean, you cannot imagine. What the question of this vast universe. So, but Naren was like that. He was in the plain of Nandual, Akhondo. But Narendra is too seeing nowadays God's form in touch with. And Ramakrishna said the form, infinite becomes, the infinite ocean, water becomes a form. When in the freezing cold, the water makes it becomes ice, and that ice is the form. But it is the water, it is the ocean. That means here one thing to understand, that those who can meditate on the form, they are no less spiritual. Sri Ramakrishna here points out that it's also, and mystic, vision is vision. But even not vision, dream is a great sign of your purity of the heart. Now, Mahimacharan went to the Shiva temple to the west of the courtyard and chanted hymns from the Vedas, because he's a Pandit. Mahimacharan was a great scholar. And he was alone chanting. M is observing this and giving the report. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. M went to take a bath in the Ganges, came to Ramakrishna. And the Brahmani, who was grief-stricken because her daughter died, on account of her daughter's death, she also entered into the room of Ramakrishna. The master asked the Brahmani, the lady, to give M some prasad to eat. And that prasad is Jagannath's prasad. It's considered very holy. It is in Puri Jagannath, a holy place in India, in the Orissa state. So it's called the three things are very auspicious. In the one, Jagannath's prasad. It is not ordinary. It purifies your heart and soul. Many of our sadhus every day take 1 or 2 pieces. The dry rice that is offered to the Lord deity, and then as a prasad they give it so that you can continually keep it and use every day. And the Ganga water. And the third is the holy dust of Vrindavan. These 3 things, though belong to the earth, but these are not earthly. It is divine, it is heavenly. That's why Master told Mem, take some prasad of Jagannath first and then eat something. After eating the prasad, Mem went to the Shiva temple and saluted the deity. Then he returned to the Master's room and saluted him. He was ready to go back to Calcutta. So, and Master tenderly, lovingly saying, go home safely. You have to attend to your duties. So these tidbit things, but it gives a real picture how Ramakrishna used to live and how he used to intimate devotees, how he was soft and kind and guided them in their journey. Normally, if someone comes, will I sleep whole night? You are tired. Go. It is too late. Go to bed. And Ramakrishna, it is 1 o'clock. This is a good time for meditation. Huh? That time you can hear the sound, Om going on. So, see? And then he is walking back, pacing back and forth, clapping the hand and then repeating the God's name. And the whole night goes away. Huh? And then morning comes, then he finds that he is going to this deity like that. So no sleep, day and night.
We have to meditate midnight and Brahma Buddha as well. We have to choose one.
Yeah, but that their lifestyle is different, no? You people have so many duties and you have to daytime so many things, If you do too much and the body does not get good sleep, then sometimes you'll be crazy. That side should be very much pay to attention. To doing too much is not good, because our body needs rest. Those who can do good meditation, by meditation itself their nerves are soothed. They get the benefit of sleep. And night time when you sleep, what happens? Your nerves get relaxed. They are not to function. Eyes, they are constantly bearing the information to the brain. Nerves, the nerves have nothing to do night time. Ear, hearing all the time, connecting, responding, all these sense organs are working. But that time, night time, you are sleeping, eyes are closed, ears are blocked, they have no function. So that's a sleeping period. So that's why they get rested. But those who get good meditation, what they will do? They focus their mind in God in such a way, there is a joy coming, plus at the same time, nothing external, the nerve system is taking full rest. That's why good meditation is equal to sleep or more than sleep. That's why those who are in the earlier days, Thakur's disciples also, they used to not to sleep whole day, whole night. That's why you find Latu Maharaj is doing his japa whole night. And somebody thought that, and with the japa mala and the beats, it is making a noise. They thought it's a mouse. And then others jump, and Susi Maharaj and others, they make a sound so that the mouse goes away. But after sometimes again, and he stops that time. They are doing japa, side by side they are lying down, but he is making an appearance that as if he is sleeping, but he is doing japa. So the training of Ramakrishna. And that he did whole life. And they don't find the insomnia, but we'll find, if we should not do, because we are not capable of doing that. Give good rest of the body, other brain will be heated. And that will create a reaction. It's called the reaction of your overdoing. So many people become crazy, practicing spiritual discipline not in a very scientific way. There, when he in presence of Ramakrishna, your mind is lifted 100 feet up already. You need not have to do anything. In his presence it is lifted. And then you try little bit, and that is enough for you. You don't need much. That's a master also. Mostly meditated and this and that. And little sleep, maybe 1 hour, half an hour. But we cannot do that. Now, Ramakrishna was in his room in the temple garden. It is the next day, 11th August. Ramakrishna was in the room at the temple garden. He had been observing silence since 8 o'clock in the morning. Did he know the fatal nature of his illness? At his silence, the Holy Mother wept. Rakhal and Latu also wept. The Brahmani widow from Bagbazar arrived. She too was weeping at the strange mood of the master. Now and then the devotees asked him whether he would remain silent for good. The master answered them in the negative by a sign. Then suddenly Sri Ramakrishna stopped talking since 8 o'clock in the morning of 11th of August 1885. So naturally, he's all the time encouraging people, singing, song, dancing, this, and because that is the first appearance of the throat cancer. So he was so silent, so everyone thought that probably he is not going to talk anymore. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Narayan arrived. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, that is the first time he started talking, "The Divine Mother will bless you." Narayan told the other devotees that the Master had spoken to him. A heavy weight was lifted from their breasts. They all came into Master's room and sat on the floor. Then the Master, talking to the devotees, "The Mother showed me that all this is verily Maya. She alone is real, and all else is the splendor of her Maya. Another thing was also revealed to me. I found out how far the different devotees have progressed." Devotees, please tell us about. Master, I came to know about all these devotees, Nitya Gopal, Rakhal, Narayan, Purna, Mahima, and others. So what we get here, Ramakrishna becomes silent from 9 a.m. of the 11th of August, and he didn't talk to anyone, and so Holy Mother, Latu, whoever was there nearby, and they naturally felt saddened. It is a bad sign. But at 3 o'clock, suddenly the Narayan, that young boy, came, and Sri Ramakrishna, as soon as he entered in his room, Sri Ramakrishna told him, Divine Mother will bless you. And as he heard this, so he went and related this news to the devotees. And the master had spoken to him. Then the heavy weight, the heavy anxiety, that is, they got relaxed. And then everyone ran to Ramakrishna's room. And Ramakrishna started talking again. What he said? The mother showed me that all this is verily Maya, she alone is real. See, you're all Tantra. Everything is Mahamaya's Leela, but Mother is the only reality. Mother in everything. Mother in the pot, Mother in the pan, Mother in the trees, Mother in the Mahabhirajan Sarvaghate. Mahabhirajan Sarvaghate. Mother resides in the heart of all, and it is only Mother, nothing but Mother. So that Ramakrishna was silent with eyes open. She is feeling this way, that everything is Maya, meaning it's only show, but it is only Mother. Mother is the reality. And other things are only appearance, and that means detaching. That's when you know it is all impermanent and it's only the Mother is, so get attached to Mother. What the use of attaching to any other thing which is not, which is in the level of duality and creating confusion and suffering or joy or pleasure or pain, this duality. And also, in that mood, Sri Ramakrishna said that the Divine Mother also, I came to know who has progressed in spiritual life, how much. God realization is here. Who has progressed how much? So I could understand that. So that was the description of the August 11. Now again M came maybe 4 or 5 days afterwards. So 16th of August, Sunday. The news of Ramakrishna's illness had been reported to the devotees in Calcutta. They thought it was just a sore in his throat. Many devotees arrived at Dakshineshwar to visit him. Among them were Girish, Ram, Nityagopal, Mahima, Kishori, Pandit Sasadhar, this is a scholar. So many came to see Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was in his usual happy mood. He was talking to the devotees. Master, quote, I cannot tell the mother about my illness. I feel ashamed to talk of it. Girish, God will cure you. Yes, Ram says, yes, you will be all right. Master smiling, yes, give me your blessings. And all laugh. Girish had a recent visitor to Dakshineshwar. The master said to him, you have so many duties to perform. You have to face so many troubles. Come here only 3 times more. Baba. He is talking to that gentleman. Girish was a recent visitor at Dakshineshwar. And seeing Girish, Master that Sri Ramakrishna said, you have so many duties to perform because you are the manager of the theatre, Star Theatre. He was the manager of the production, writer, producer, actor, and so many other duties to perform. You have to face so many troubles also. So you come here only 3 times more. So if someone could have told anyone, come 3 times, then you are done. But Ramakrishna can do that. He said, come only 3 times, then I will do the rest of the thing. Sasadhar, the scholar, Pandit, please tell us something about Adya Shakti. Adya Shakti means primordial Mother Shakti power, primordial power. This whole universe has come, Brahman, or Lord Shiva, was unchanging reality, and from that came the whole universe, and the mother also. That power is called the Adya. Adi means foundational, primordial, primary, that Shakti, the power. The divine power which has created this whole universe, that is Adya Shakti. And Sasudhar, the Pandit, a Vedanta Pandit, top scholar of Vedanta, he is asking, please tell us something about Adya Shakti. Then the master smilingly said, a certain man had great respect for another person. The second man asked him to bring him a little fire for his tobacco. He answered humbly, Sir, am I fit to carry your fire? He didn't bring the fire, all laughed. It's a joke, no? He says that you are asking me, but you know, you have the knowledge. Why are you asking me? That's the point. So the example is then a man had great respect for another person, and the second man, he asked him to bring a little fire from his tobacco, no? Hubble bubble, the one charcoal, so that he can also enjoy the hubble bubble. Hubble bubble smoking was those days tradition. Anyone guest comes to your home, you give some other thing, but it's hubble bubble also. It was not considered bad. So, but this man had the fire, he will not give. That's why he answered humbly, Sir, am I fit to carry you fire? That means he didn't bring the fire. That means you are having knowledge and you are asking me, you are not giving the response, you are putting upon me. That means that's the Saswadhar. The primal power is it. Now he started speaking. The primal power alone is both the instrumental and the material cause of the universe. It is she who is saying, Pandit. Ramakrishna is not saying. He only poked. And the Pandit now bringing out his own wisdom. The primordial power, Adya Shakti, the Shakti, is both the instrumental and the material cause of the universe. That's very important word to understand. Anything you see in the creation, two instrumentalities are necessary. One is called the instrumental cause, another the material cause. Material cause means matter. This table is made of what? Matter, wood, screw, glue, or whatever other matter. An instrument, এটা হলো material cause, matter. What is the instrument? Instrument is the carpenter. His skill, his tools he used to make it. They carve it this way, the edge is carved this way. So it is two causes are necessary for anything in the creation. There should be one person whose intelligence and other tools will be used to create something, and there should be some matter, material objects should be there. The house is built. House is built with how many things are there behind this temple? It's a material cause. Matter is the wood, painting, glasses, and all these are the material. And then, what is the instrument? First engineer, some Swami, he thought we need a temple. And that's in his mind. He said that, called an architect, I want this type of thing, this design, this length, this width. Temple will be here, shrine will be here, this and that. Then came engineer. Then came so many, these are instruments. Without this instrumental cause, this temple could not have any existence. So here, Sasodhar says, the primordial mother, divine mother, is both. She is the material cause. There is nothing but mother. That's why, see how Ramakrishna said that he is carrying out the same expression, understanding. There is only Mother. You don't see it, it is your fault. There is nothing. The matter you see, it is not matter. And the instrumental cause of this creation, that means creator God, we think that God is also under the Shakti. Shakti manifested. The Brahma, Vishnu are created by the Shakti. Otherwise Brahman cannot be anything. That Shakti, that power, primordial power, that we chant as Mother Chandi, Mother Kali, Mother Durga, all these aspects, but different aspects, but the Shakti, the power, the inherent power which has helped to create this whole universe, that is called the material cause and efficient cause or instrumental cause. It is she who had created the universe and its living beings. Further, she herself has become all this. It is at par with the Vedic realization. The Upanishad says, Tat Srishtva Tadeva Anupravishat. Upanishad is saying, Tat Srishtva is creating this means here. The stars, galaxies, micro, macro, everything. He created and Anupravishat, as if he created himself as an instrumental cause and in the matter, but he entered into the matter. It's just an expression. That means there is nothing but the divine consciousness. In Vedanta also, Vijnanavad, when you call Vijnanavad, you come after that experience, you see that it's permeated only consciousness. Though in form you see the ornament with form and also gold. That awareness permeates everywhere. It's all Satchidananda. Here they are as it is a statement in the Sakto tradition, Mother tradition. It's a Mother. Mother is the, otherwise how the Absolute come into reality? It cannot. Vedanta says Maya. But the Mother worshippers will be said it is her Shakti. The snake lying down, Ramakrishna gave the example. But the snake also wriggles, movement. So when it is going where? How did it go? The same, Shakti and Shaktiman. Suppose you are sitting here, you have a good singing voice. When you sing, it is your Shakti, you, and your Shakti is not different. Your song coming out. So that is the manifestation. Manifestation and the manifestar and manifestation are not too different. That is.
When you say like that, it has gone inside.
That's it, just to explain
Somebody asked this question, that what does it mean inside, like the stuffing of samosa inside?
Because you are thinking in duality. But if you see it is unity, then you will think that this the same ocean has become wavy. No other element is necessary. The same water element, by Shakti, it manifested that way. The snake was lying down, coiled up, and now snake is moving. Is it the snake or anything else? The snake, but the power within was withdrawn, and power manifesting. That is the point. But that's why Brahma Jnana means all real, genuine Sakta, Mother worshipper will see. Ma in that Sakar, Akar, Nirakara. Ma tanghi tara, tagi. Tumi trigunodhara, parat para, ma tanghi tara. Tumi jole, tumi sthale. Oh Mother, you are in the water, you are in the ground. Tumi Addamul, you are the very root of everything. Acha Sarvagati, you are residing in the heart of all. Akkhapute. Akkhapute mane? Or Akkhapute, eyes. Sakar, in the form. Akar, shape. Nirakara, and also without form. So whatever you see in the form, in the shape of something else, or no akara. Sakar, akar, nirakar. Ma tangi tara. Oh mother, you are the mother Tara, the mother Kali. No? You are only calling mother name. But philosophically, these are the language. But experientially, when you go, there is no distinction remains. But Shaktos, because they practice ma, then when they come back from that experience, they see the mother. Vedanta, when they think Atman, they says Atma dhastat, Atma upurishtat, Atma below, Atma above, Atma on the right, Atma on the left, Atma in the front, Atma in the back. No, these are all language only, but the truth remains the same. So she herself become all these. To give an example, this is the best example, spider. Urnanavi, Jatha Urnanavi, in the Sheta Upanishad, they mention that the world is created from one. Well, how? Is there any example? Really, you will not find any example that the same thing creates the universe and can take away the universe. Spider is the best example. Look at that. When the spider is trying to build a net, no? Its juice is coming out of it. Juice and the spider are separate. Can you separate? No, it was inside. So the spider is making a web. And if something happens, immediately she can withdraw. When it becomes dry, they cannot do that. But this is uniqueness. God can do that because it's an example. In the created universe, spider is the best example. Out of Brahman everything comes and Brahman withdrawn. Have you ever noticed that when the spider is creating something, falling like that, you touch it and it goes up. It's sucking the line as if the thread, as it were, it takes inside. It came out of that spider, and again, when frightened, they withdraw. But if it stays for 2, 3, 5 minutes, then it becomes hard. The spider, each thread becomes, then they cannot take it. So they have to leave that. But for God, He creates any time. That's why this creation is called in Hindu ideal evolution and involution. It comes out of that Brahman, manifests as Shakti, Shakti manifests that, and again it goes back through the Shakti into the truth. Indrajala. So, spider and the instrument is the cause. Here, example, the spider as the instrumental cause makes the web, and as the material cause brings the web out of its own body. And then he sits over it. Look at that. When this entire net is prepared, wave is prepared, then the spider will be sitting on that. As if two. But this two is not two. It has come out of the spider only. That appears and then he becomes God. God, the creator God. I created this wave, this mystic God. Master then correcting let us see what Master says. It is also stated that he who is Purusha is also Prakriti. He who is Brahman is also Shakti. He ceases to create, preserve, or destroy, and he is called the Shakti or Prakriti when he engages in these activities. So same thing is called Brahman when he does not do anything, but when he engages himself, the same thing he calls Prakriti. So that is the harmony. Sri Ramakrishna cannot find of anything, they are all this different, that different. But only we see the diversity and people fight because of the ignorance. So he is called Purusha or Brahman. Now, don't confuse with the terminology again. Purusha is a terminology of the Sankhya philosophy. Purusha and they will say Purusha and Prakriti. So Purusha, now Ramakrishna is equating with Purusha means the consciousness aspect, and Brahman is the consciousness aspect. So Purusha or Brahman, two language does not match. If your philosophers come, they'll say this is wrong. How can Purusha be Brahman? But this is not a book of what you call logic, but book of experience. So Purusha, yes, the consciousness, Pure Sete iti, he who resides in the inmost chamber of the heart, Purusha. And consciousness, Brahman is the consciousness aspect. Take that. Because in the oven, you put in the oven the heat. Heat transmits into the pots and pan, and also into the water, also into the rice, also into the potato. And then you say, oh, the potato is hot. Potato cannot be hot. Purusha entered into it. And that's why it is hot. When you withdraw, it becomes dull. It has no power to burn. So similarly, the whole universe is pulsating. You see, hand is moving, mouth is speaking, we are journeying, a microwave is moving like that, Omicron is fighting, all. But without the consciousness, no. And here also, the Brahman and Shakti, without the Shakti, no manifestation. That's why Sri Ramakrishna says he is called Purusha or Brahman when he is inactive. Inactive. And that is to say, when he ceases to create, preserve and destroy. And he is called Shakti or Prakriti when he engages in those activities. But he who is Brahman is none other than Shakti, Brahman and Shakti. That's a beautiful idea. Brahman and Shakti not to separate. When philosophically you say Shakti is a manifestation and this comes from Brahman. But in the experience side, the Brahman is none other than Shakti. It is nothing but Shakti and Brahman, same. He who is Purusha has verily become Prakriti. That Purusha has become 24 cosmic principles. Purusha Prakriti, that is the Sankho. Water is water, whether it moves or is still. A snake is a snake, whether it wriggles along or stays still or coiled up. So the same reality, you give two names. When it moves, it's action, then you call Shakti, then you call Maya or Prakriti in the Sankho language. But don't bring again as I said, philosophy here. You are mixing up this philosophy, that philosophy. But that philosophy is intellectually understanding. It is individual soul, Purusha Prakriti. Cosmic level, it is Brahman, Atman. But you cannot exactly, Sankho philosophy is a philosophy. On the foundation of Sankho philosophy, Vedanta is come. Vedanta cannot stand without the foundation of Sankho. But now people mix up together. Hey Purusha, hey Brahman. And Purusha means the consciousness here. And here is the Brahman idea, no? And Prakriti is the manifestation. What manifests? It is the Shakti, that inner thing manifests in this form.
Prakasha Vimarsha? Prakasha Vimarsha.
Prakasha and Vimarsha.
No, Adi Shakti is Vimarsha.
Vimarsha. But he who is Brahman is none other than the Shakti. He who is Purusha has verily become Prakriti. Water is water, whether it moves or is still. A snake is snake, whether it wriggles along or stays still and coiled up. What Brahman is cannot be described. Speech stops there. In the Kirtan, the singers at first sing, my Nitai dances like a Mata Hati, mad elephant. Mata Hati, mad elephant. as they become more and more ecstatic, they can hardly utter the whole sentence. They sing only hati, hati. As their mood deepens, they sing only ha, ha. At last, they cannot sing even that, they become completely unconscious. So, as you go to absorption from outside, you merge into that reality when you cannot say anything. Even it happens, it's a gross example. People you Hare Krishna, people you go, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. When you start, then you can start dancing little bit. And when they go deep into the intoxication, then you see Hare Krishna, ha, 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 sometimes that, and then they cannot say something. So but this does not stay long. That's why meditation, japa is important. But point is that as one enters into the reality, external things drops away for that person. As the master spoke these words, he himself became transfixed in samadhi. He was standing. Now these are the words going on. For us nothing is happening. No, we talked, what happened? Are you anyone in samadhi? Even the mood to meditate? Nothing. But Ramakrishna said this, and Purusha, Prakriti, Shakti, this, Maya, not Maya, he's not using Maya. Brahman and Shakti are same, this, that, and this, talking about that, they seeing both, and mind, boom, gone. He stood up out of and lost his outer consciousness. Regaining consciousness of the world, he said, that which is beyond both Kshara and Akshara cannot be described. The Gita, Kshara and Akshara, two ideas of the reality has been mentioned. Kshara, Kshara means which is decay, undergoes decay. And Akshara, which does not. But Atman is beyond Kshara and Akshara. The real mother is beyond this Kshara, means this changeable, what we see, and the unchangeable, beyond. Why? Changeable and unchangeable, these are two words. You use unchangeable when? So long you have the idea of changeable. When you cross that level, unchangeable also, then you cannot say anything. So the devotees sat in silence. You cannot go into samadhi as long as your worldly experiences are not finished, as long as you have duties to perform. That means your obligation, your attachment, unless you are finished, the samadhi will not happen. To Sasodhar, God is now making you perform such duties as delivering lecture. Sasodhar Pandit was a famous scholar in Calcutta University, used to give all philosophical lectures. You must do these things now. You will have peace when your duties are finished. After completing her household duties, the mistress of the family goes to her bath. She will not come back then, even if you shout after her. Meaning, that means when you will finish all your duties, then you will be free from all bondage. Because he is a great soul, Ramakrishna assured him that you will not be born again. You will be freed from all bondage. So we read today, just to remind how much we read. We didn't read much. We started on page 833 and we ended at the bottom of 835. Okay. Any question? Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. One question, why did the direct disciples do so much spiritual practice? They were already living with God, the end of the spiritual practices. That is a question. Why did the direct disciples, all the Ramakrishna's disciples, do so much spiritual practice? They want to stay in that joy all the time. When they with Ramakrishna, they got everything. They got the glimpse. And they are Brahmagyanis, true. And once you get that knowledge, your joy does not leave you. It will be underground, like it is called when the musicians play music, there's some sitar or something grow. So that one layer is there, continuously goes on. But they want to intensely feel that. And that's the one purpose. Second purpose was that they want it to be for the good of others. They want to distribute it. Ramakrishna said, to kill yourself, a small knife is enough. But to kill others, you need swords and more strong weapons. That means to help others. They come for helping. They need greater energy, greater power. So Ramakrishna gave the example. In the river you can find there are some wood floating woods. And if you want to hold it, the float will also sink. It is not able to hold you. But there are bahaduri. There is one type of wood which floats, and it can carry you also over it. So to take our load, our ignorance, Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda, Swami Shivananda, Swami Akhandananda, they are great spiritual people. They only did their own sadhana. They got it everything and then did more. Why? For the posterity and to help others. They come for that purpose. Swami Brahmananda was asked exactly this question. Ramakrishna gave you everything by while you are in Dakshina. You are the spiritual son, mind it. Others may be less or bad, but you are the spiritual son, Manasa Putra. Then why are you doing so much austerity? His response was, Sri Ramakrishna gave us everything in spiritual life, gave us everything of spiritual life. But I am trying to make it my own, to absorb it, to feel it. And that's why he could look at the people and give them the spiritual awakening. So they were already living with God and the end of spiritual practices. That's the point. And moreover, another thing, if you find some joy in any place, don't you want to get that joy and step into that joy? Why people go for second drinks? First drink gives them the taste. And there is some more drink available. So what you do? You go and take another drink to enjoy that. So meditation, if it is joyful, so they are established in that. As soon as they sit, they find a mine of joy here. Why not? They will go there. What is there in the outside world? Whatever is there, it is only in the name. But it is not that can satisfy the person who has tested God. For us it is okay. That's why it is said bees and the flies. Flies find some sweets and sits on the sweet and eats. And when he does not get it, he is on the filth. But honey, bees, they don't never go to the filth. Bees will always sit on the flowers and suck it, because they have got the taste, higher taste of sucking and so their sanskaras have changed. That's why what they will do? They will have to be meditative. They like to be absorbed within them because there is a profound joy. Okay.
Vidyaranjan Swami, he writes, Brahma has two powers, Vikshepa Shakti, Avarana Shakti. How come that text is in Vedanta Prakarana, when it sounds more like, Brahman, Maya, Shakti, it sounds like a tantric text?
No, Maya is also have two aspects. Maya has two aspects. Maya means veiling. Maya has the covering aspect and projecting aspect. We give the example that when you go to a movie, Maya has two aspects. One is the projecting aspect, another is the veiling aspect. We are all Brahman according to Vedanta, but we don't see it. Why? First of all, there is a veil. We do not know what is God. We say the veil of not knowing, called ignorance. And the second point is that something newly projected on that. We create our universe, no? You may say, I don't create it. God has created. Yes, in the cosmic mind. That's why you see the sun, I also see the sun. You feel the heat, I also feel the heat of the sun. Because cosmic mind played. It is called the big shaper of the cosmic mind. Projection. So we give the example of the movie hall. You want to go to enjoy a movie, so you go and sit in a movie hall, you purchase the ticket and you are chit-chatting with your friend. This is reality, no? This is the reality. Now this reality, you went intentionally to forget this reality and go into the dream world, into fantasy world, which is not true. No? So you go in the movie hall, what they do? After some time, immediately they do. When the time is coming, they slow music and then turn off the switch. When the switch is turned off, the entire hall is dark, is it not? So you are chattering this, that, your friend, this, that, you are going to forget. That's the avarana, covering aspect. Covering up by Maya or veil. And that is the aspect one. And now what happens? A slit, through the slit, the film, the light, no? A big projection on the screen. And your attention goes that way. And then when you get intoxicated into it more, everywhere is, you don't look at your friend, you are talking and who is side, you are absorbed in the big shaper, the projection. And you know projection is not true. A person is killing someone, a person is bringing some gift to somebody. It's all fake. It is only what you call the screen. Flow of the screen moving behind is the projection lamp. So you know these are untrue, but what happens to all of us? We get totally intoxicated. Now we are in that state. This projection is going on, but behind is the covering. First you forget that you are Brahman. Second, you create that I am somebody and I am suffering, I am going. And you identify with the scene. The person is being killed, you identify, as if it is killing you. That identification comes because of the darkness, ignorance and projection. So this is the philosophical aspect. Another question is here. In earlier times, people, in spite of being morally and ethically so upright, if had to do so much of austerity in spiritual path, then practically speaking, how much of a chance the modern man actually have of success in spiritual path? Yeah, that's true. The question is that in earlier days people used to, in spite of being morally and ethically perfect, upright, if they had to do so much austerity, then what about us? Where is our... Yes, that question is this. But, there are all schools. Harvard School is also school. And there is a school in most filled with the retarded children. That's also, and there is and the examination goes on there, and a person can get a first A plus, and Harvard also there is one A plus. Are the same category? No, because of the school condition, you become first boy, first girl. You give an A plus, and someone is there. You have no chance. A plus, B, C, D. Is there anything down? F. So, no chance there. So, I think that is the point. We are in the Kali Yuga. And in this hectic life, God has concession. So, if one does sincere practice little bit, God's concession can help us. Rest of the thing.
But I think you can judge in that way because there are good people and bad people in every time.
No, not for bad good.
That's how to say. The old time is always good time.
No,
not. You didn't see it. That's not a...
Not for that. Your question is that one God realization. Good people, not only good people.
Like that, only old time people were all moral ethical.
Most of the people, you see, we read, they are ethically strong, morally strong, and then spirituality. All, we are not talking of all. We are talking of an individual person. It is so much there to do. We are not doing anything.
I understand, but since Sri Ramakrishna's time, that time we had the British India. How much British people were torturing Indian people? How much?
What that has to do with spiritual practice of the...
Ethical and all these things, and people were betraying their own country.
But those who are coming...
Moral and ethical degradation.
No, that was because those are coming to Ramakrishna, we are talking about them. Here's the question. Those people who came to Ramakrishna, they are so morally, ethically good, and they had to do so much sadhana, then where is our hope? My point is here, I am not talking about the whole society, but those who came, among them were drunk people, morally and ethically, but they have transformed into quickly because of that environment. But what is our environment now? Where is Ramakrishna to guide us? A drunk person comes, or a drug-addicted people come. Anyhow, question, the main thing to understand that it is, we have to do sadhana, but we are not that much we can do. That's why it is said, those who have come to Ramakrishna, even did their sadhana and continues that was something possible because of the presence and their karma. But we, at this age, we are very busy in our lifestyle, and with this busy style and not that support, we need to do more. But no, Christ said, those who have seen and who have not seen me, more blessed are those who love me, even not seeing me. So this idea is there. So that much love is there, that is enough for them to give them the spiritual boosting. And Ramakrishna said also, in this age, Kali Yuga, you move one step and God comes 10 steps. That's your point is true, that I accept, because that we always have a good idea, old days were all good. No, always we say, oh, in our early days, this society today is so bad. Huh? Our fathers also said that thing. When we were a child, what is society? Now, this society, these boys are all going to ruin. And their grandfather, they used to say when their time, my father's time, it was so good. And now, see what is happening in the world. That comparison is always there. But my point is that even among the students of good ability, there is differences there. This said, we are reading in the Bhagavad, that in this age, moner pap nai. Holy Mother Ramakrishna also said. And Bhagavad also we read, that the mental sin is not sin. But in good quality, Ramakrishna's place, Swami Brahmananda, a young boy, coming, and Ramakrishna said, what did you do today? I could not look at your face. Then he thought, I didn't do anything bad. But while playful mood, he lied one word, which is not true. That lie has been caught in the detecting machine of Ramakrishna. And he could wipe out that. But that is considered to be a sin. Huh? Why I cannot look at your face? So if they look at me, then how many things they'll see? So that's the question. That there categorically there may be people, we are talking about those who came in the circle of this holy association.
But they already were accomplished. We can't compare with them anyways.
No. All are accomplished. Girish goes. Girish goes.
That way that they were accomplished, but they just wanted to make their own. So
Said Ramakrishna, Acha Rakhal. What about Girish?
He said he's the Bhairav, he came with that.
Oh, if you say so, then no, this discussion does not come at all. If you say so, this discussion does not come at all. But take it realistically. Yes, true. We look at our life. How much austerity we practice every day. How much fasting we can do. How much hardship we can take in the name of God. No? But we are trying in this heavy schedule of busy life. Morning time we are trying to meditate, noon time or evening time, in between the work we are trying. That is enough. God sees that sincerity. That is enough. That is the point. Yes, it will happen with this if we are sincere. And Ramakrishna said, Baas or ghas chada, those who have little element, not like bamboo. Bamboo means hollow. Bamboo is a shape, round shape. Inside is hollow. Hollow people, without hollow, that means meaningless, who has nothing metal inside, excepting that. And the grass, worthless, weeds. Everyone will be liberated, those who have come to this idea. So these are the ideas. We should not be disheartened because we are in the age we cannot do like the previous people, no? And you read the Puranas, they are doing thousands of years of austerity. How many years they live, I do not know. Meaning maybe many lifetimes. That's the same thing. Many lifetimes they are doing the austerity. But we are not doing like that. But now we are doing another type of austerity, mental austerity. Physical austerity may not be done, but mental austerity people are doing much more. But anyway, those who are sincere, they will get it. That is the major point. Okay? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. The tomorrow is whose class? Tomorrow is Swami Brahmananda, Vedic Christianity, 7:30. Thank you all. Yeah.